So I like to use my thumb, but everybody recommends using your index finger. And the index finger for me is a lot more work. A thumb, I could just relax a lot more here. Okay, for a pipette, we have a pipette bulb. Hopefully your pipette bulb is dry, but some of these pipette bulbs might be wet from the previous section. You know, they suck solution in there. It's contaminated. If yours is wet, try to dry it out as best as possible, tapping it. All right, now we got to fill our pipette. To fill our pipette, we squeeze the air out of the bulb and create a vacuum, and then just suck it up. You don't have to jam the bulb on here. You just, you know, because it's tapered, and so it provides a nice tight seal just by resting there. And then we pull it above the zero line here, but we want to stop before we suck water into the bulb. And so you want to practice this sometimes. And so what I like to do is I like to, like I said, control this with my thumb. Or you can control it with your index. I control it with my thumb because it's easier to hold. The problem is you have to figure out, you know, how much pressure to stop the flow. To stop the flow, you push down with your thumb, right, to block the air. Now, to release the flow, a lot of people say lift your thumb up, but you don't want to lift. You never lift your finger off. Lifting your finger off doesn't give you good, precise control. What I do instead of lifting is this. Here, I tense the muscles in my thumb here, but when I want it to flow, what I'll do is I'll just relax the muscles in my thumb. When I relax the muscles in my thumb, I never lift it off. It's totally sealed around here, but since my thumb is relaxed, there's a slight vacuum leak or slight air leak right here. Just very ever so slight, you know? And so if I totally relax it but not lift it, do you see it's flowing down now? Right there, right? But if I just tense my thumb muscle a little bit like this, it should stop the flow. There. Okay. Relax, flows, tense, stops the flow. Okay, but don't lift. If you lift, you get a flow like that. A flow like that's hard to control. You want drops. And so just practice. Relaxing your thumb, get a drop rate. Control the drop rate so, you know, it can go slow drop rate or fast drop rate. And so just practice tensioning your thumb or stop the drop rate altogether. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get practice filling and then controlling the pipette. After you feel comfortable with this, then we're going to do a measurement of this. And so the first thing is we need to weigh out some empty flasks. These are expensive, so be careful. Okay, these flasks don't have to be clean necessarily. So you have a flask like this. Your flask is probably dry, but you know there could be surface absorbed water. We aren't going to worry about that. But we're going to weigh a flask like this and a watch glass, 65 millimeter, like that. We're going to need 3 of these. Are all 3 flasks that you're going to have identical in mass? What do you think? No. No 2 flasks have the same mass. There's just random error, I guess, in the precision of making these. You know, each of these flasks are different, and then they calibrate it. And so some flasks are going to be lighter, some are heavier. This is much heavier than this. They're the same size, 250s. What we need to know is the mass of the empty flask and the watch glass. So you're going to make sure these are labeled. And so this is flask number 2, watch glass number 2. We need to know the mass of the flask and the watch glass empty. Now, why do we need the watch glass? The reason we need the watch glass is once we know what the mass is empty, then we're going to pipette in 10 milliliters of water into this. And so I'll let the flow go above the 0 line and then come back over here and place my thumb, and then just watch it. You know, drip, drip, drip. Actually, I can go faster here. And then slow it down as it gets close to the 0. And then I want to stop the bottom of the meniscus right on the 0 mark. There. Usually you put the tip here so you don't have any hanging drops. The hanging drops might change the volume. Okay, so I'm starting at the 0 mark, and then I'm going to put it into the empty flask. Like this. Okay, here I completely let go because I want it to drain rapidly. But the thing is, I have to stop at 10 in order to get 10.00 milliliters. And so as this is draining, I got 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, okay, 9.5. Now I'm going to slow down the flow to a drip. Oops. Drip, drip. Okay. Maybe one more. Okay, right there. And so right now I'm at, so I started at 0, end at 10, that's 10.00 milliliters of water I just transferred to this. When I weigh this, do I have to worry about fingerprints? I don't have to worry about fingerprints? Why not? Does it matter? I weighed this dry, right? I weighed this dry. Do I have to worry about fingerprints? I don't? If I leave a whole bunch of fingerprint residue on here, I don't have to worry about that? Because what I need to do is now I need to reweigh this with 10.00 milliliters of water. And so if I go reweigh this, are those fingerprints going to change the mass? What do you think? Yes. So the question again, do I have to worry about fingerprints? I do. And so when you weigh these dry, you should wipe off your fingerprints. When you weigh them wet, or filled with 10 mils of water, you should wipe off your fingerprints. Then weigh them. Weigh it, right? Or just handle it with paper towel. Okay, why do I have a lid on this? Does somebody know why I have a lid on this? Well, you're going to do 3 of these. And so you get 3 flasks. You have a tray like this. So you can put the 3 flasks. But you don't need the lid for splashes. Is the lid there for splashes? The lid is not here for splashes.